So what we're working on here right now, right? Moving on to the lower extremities, what we're looking for is the influence, if any, that we can find from the knee quality. So, flexion extension, hip flexion extension. We'll check all of that stuff to see how well, to see if this is influencing the lower body when we're going up into the stairs, right? Up and down the stairs. Trying to build that confidence through the stairs so that you can kind of double stride.
I wonder how much is mental and how much is just that these muscles aren't what they should be.
Yeah, well, and the interesting thing about what you just said is that one way for sure, the river for sure flows one way, meaning that if these muscles aren't turning on or aren't good, then your brain is going to pick up on that. And that's the mental part of not wanting to do it, right? Like, to give you a really obvious example, let's say your foot hurts all the time, and I ask you to kick a soccer ball with that hurt foot. Your brain is going to be like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And maybe you've done it in so long that you don't notice or know that it hurts even, but your brain knows and it's not doing it, right?
Yeah.
So let's test through these guys. I'm going to have you bend this knee. And then I'm going to lift you a little bit here. Good. Keep that knee bent. I'm going to try to unbend it.
Gotcha.
Don't let me do it. Ready, and go. Okay, so your knee flexion is high quality. No pain response there. Good. I could not open that knee at all. And then we're going to extend your knee. Keep the knee locked out. You can kind of rest your leg on me there. Don't let me bend the knee. Ready, and go. Yeah, nope, that was low quality. I could bend that thing a little bit. Did you have any pain when you did that? So let me test your hip flexion. I think a knee extended position will probably be low quality, but we'll find out. Lift, hold right there. Ready, and go. Yeah, done. Okay. Rest, right? So low quality. My guess is that's through the knee because your knee extension is low quality. I'm applying force below the knee joint. So anytime I'm sending force through a joint that's unstable, it'll break stuff down up the line. So let's check it knee flexed so that we can rule out the hip as a problem. I'm going to have you lift. Sorry, lift the leg.
Oh,
There you go.
and you're going to push it down?
Yep, hold this position. Ready, and go. That was much better, right, than with your knee extended. You can hold that. So what that tells me is that if your hip flexion is high quality when your knee is flexed, and your knee flexion is high quality, but it's low quality when your knee is extended and your knee extension is low quality, it's probably not a hip problem, it's probably a knee extension problem.
Okay.
If it was a hip problem, you wouldn't have been able to do it with your knee bent either, right? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So we're just, again, looking for all the low quality stuff, contractions through the system that might have a breakdown in the joint control as we go. So then what we're going to start with is stimulating up this quad tissue, that is the knee extensors, and then we'll recheck that stuff. Right there, okay. Extend the knee, foot towards the ceiling, and just hold that right there for a second. Don't lift through the hip. Perfect. You feel how you relax that hip back down in the bolster a little there? Nice. So this is an isometric contraction, meaning no change to the joint angle while we're stimulating up the knee extensor tissue, which is the quad in this case, right? Vastus medialis, lateralis, rectus femoris, all four of them in there. Nice, getting a little burn through the quad.
Yep.
Let's go for another 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's rest. Good, take a short little break, and we'll do a couple more isos, and then we'll start moving through isometrics, and then we'll start doing a few myometric contractions as well, which is going to be more movement based, right? So let's go through this again, just changing our angle so we can see the knee here. Okay. Push again. Good. It's another isometric contraction in the extension, keeping those quad muscles turned on, getting a little burn already too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quick how fast it comes on, huh? Good job. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest.
I noticed in PT too, when I did certain leg exercises, my toes would just want to.
Want to
So I
spaz
tried to
out.
relax my foot.
Okay.
They it's almost like they're being pulled down against my will.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. Again, back to this whole mental connection thing, right? If those knee extensors don't want to work, then your brain is, the example I like to use is like it's throwing spaghetti at the wall. It's like something's wrong with that connection. Let me send as many as possible. And the foot is a good,
It's just
you
like,
know.
the arch and everything's tight and all of a sudden the toes start curling down and everything else is open.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's try a couple. Oh, you're good. I'm just readjusting it. Okay, so we're gonna do a few myometrics now from a limited range position. So we're not full knee flexion to extension. We're just starting with this angle. So slowly, against my resistance, I'm just gonna have you open the knee up again, and then put it back down. 1. Good. Let's go again. 2. Back down. A quick little pause at the top for full lockout. 3. Beautiful. 4. Good. Keep going. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. One more. 10 and pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good. So we just did 10 myometric contractions, closing this joint angle using the muscle adjacent, the quad muscles, and then an iso at the end of that. Take a break. We're going to let it rest for just about 20-30 seconds. And then we're going to recheck and see if the quality is there. And if that knee extension is now high quality, then we'll recheck the hip as well and see what that does. So just a couple more seconds there. Hold that position. Don't let go. Oh yeah, that felt better. And then straight leg. Keep it locked. Lift the leg. Hold. Ready to go.
Oh, that was like a Charlie horse.
Okay, so that did change though, right? It didn't Charlie horse the first time, so now we're going up through the hip. So let's stimulate this hip tissue. So the knee felt pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me get you a little lower. Hold here first. Let me just recheck. There you go. There you go. There you go. Push that into me. There you go. Getting some work up here now too. 9, 8, that's it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was fatigued out, wasn't it? That was real tired there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. Take a little rest. That's beautiful. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, let's try this again. Lift. Pull into me. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good job. Okay. A couple seconds and then we'll recheck that quality as well. Good work. Wonderful. Okay, one more time. Lift, pull it into me. Beautiful. So we're working all this hip flexion tissue now using also the knee extension tissue, right? Yeah, this is hard work, huh?
Yeah.
And rest. Good. Okay, about 10-15 more seconds, and then we're going to recheck your quality. Let's make some notes of this here as we go. So we found knee extension on the right was low quality, and knee flexion on the right was high quality. Hip flexion on the right was low quality if your knee was extended, but it was high quality if your knee was flexed. Okay, so then we started stimming up the knee extension. That got to high quality. And then we rechecked the hip in the knee extended position. That was still low quality. So now we're also stimming up the hip flexors while that knee is now extended. Okay, so hip flexion. Knee extended. All right. So let's recheck that quality. Lift that leg. Hold this position. Ready and go. Yeah, look at that. Nice. No crazy pull in there?
No.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I think what we're gonna end up doing with that is set you up for a couple different exercises. We're gonna do the knee flexion.
Okay.
I'm
Is that
sorry,
what I
the
had questions about?
knee extension. Yes,
Okay.
which is cool because now we're doing it on both sides, so that'll apply, right? And then we'll move on, double check tibia stuff. Okay.